right, on page 312 in chapter 11, there's a section on rubrics. You will be very familiar with rubrics, hopefully by the time you walk across the stage. Rubrics is going to be a way of life from here on out. You're going to have to get comfortable in that world, and the reason that the PBLs require that rubric to be written, my PBLs, is because I want you to get comfortable in the world. Now, there's all kinds of rubrics out there that you can modify. You don't have to do everything. You have to reinvent the wheel. I'd advise you to get comfortable in that world, because when you're grading collaborative activities, kind of like what you're doing now, you have to have some kind of criteria. What constitutes an A? What constitutes a B? What constitutes a C? And there may be a parent or an administrative person who would challenge you on that, so you need to make sure that you've got yourself covered. So in its simplest and most basic sense, on page 312, a rubric is a scoring guide. It is not the measurement itself. It is the way of interpreting, scoring, and summarizing how well a student has performed. Rubrics are a tool for focusing on the important elements in an assessment and combining these elements into a single score. They also provide guidance to ensure that different assessors rate students in the same manner and that students know what is expected for each level. You would release these ahead of time so the student would know, okay, if I want an A, what am I going to have to do? The criteria should run down through there. Now, you're going to have to decide, as you know, on my essays, it's not just about content. In the 2010, if you had me for 2010, it's not just about the content. It's about the grammar as well. So you're going to have to decide, all right, so what are the big criteria areas that you want to test your students with? What's going to be most important? I think grammar is very important. As I'm looking at, as students are doing oral presentation pieces, I'm not only looking at the grammar, but I'm looking at the actual presentation mode they chose. Is it well organized? Is it appealing to the eye? Those kinds of things. Rubrics can be analytical or holistic measures. Analytical refers to looking at each dimension of the performance and scoring each. A holistic refers to considering all criteria simultaneously and then making one overall evaluation. I tend to use the analytical just because the holistic kind of refers to seeing the big picture. So you don't break it down. You just see one big picture. I have a hard time with that. I need small steps and then add all of that up, and that gets me to the big picture. The rubrics are big in the school system, and with the PBL movement has an opportunity to be even a bigger deal in the near future.